As we approach Rosh Hashana, Yom Kippur, this time of year, we start to think a bit more about our actions, about the mistakes we might have made over the year, things we might regret, about the good things we've done, the mitzvot, and the averot, the averas, the sins, the transgressions, the things where God says, I don't like this. Not my preference, and we did it anyway. I want us to think about this for a second, because sometimes it can be easy to get demotivated and feel like, God, this is such a heavy burden, and I find it so hard to be good, and I'm so consumed by my passions and by my desires and by my laziness and all the rest of it, and it's too hard a mountain to climb. So let's think about what Judaism tells us about the nature of ourselves and the nature of mitzvot, positive commandments, and sins. But before we think about that, let's think about what other religions tell us about ourselves and the nature of sin and the nature of the human condition. In Christianity, we are told that we are all sinners. We're sinners. Fundamentally, human beings are sinners. That is one of the basic principles of Christianity. And so God tried to get us to be good when he gave us the Torah. But they say, look, God decided it wasn't workable. And so Jesus comes along and he says, you're all sinners, but I'm here to save you. Thanks very much. So he creates me in sin. I have no choice in the matter. I'm just created as a sinner. But Jesus comes along to save me. I mean, it sounds a little bit manipulative, don't you think? Because I'm not really given a choice in my human makeup and my condition. And yet I'm told, well, I have to choose to be saved, else I'm going to be in trouble. Not really leaving me with much choice in the matter, to be honest. And it also doesn't seem to be so nice that I've been designed as a sinner. So Judaism rejects that idea entirely. Judaism does not say we are fundamentally sinners, because if we are fundamentally sinners, then what are you complaining about that I sinned? I'm a sinner. Why are you getting upset with me if that is my fundamental nature? It's interesting, in Parshat Balak, which we read a few weeks ago, the evil prophet Bilam, he says, when he's given this prophecy by God and he tries to curse the Jewish people, but he ends up giving a blessing, he says that the God of Israel sees no perversion among his people, no immorality. And you read that and you think, goodness me, that's surprising. Given everything else that God says about the Jewish people in the Torah, he's constantly saying, oh, you did this wrong and I'm so upset with you and why can't you behave better and, you know, I'm just so angry with you and blah, 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 blah. How can he also say of God that God sees absolutely no perversion within his people? If you think about it, if God is constantly telling us, stop doing that, can you please behave better? Can you please try and do this, do that, don't commit adultery, don't murder, don't gossip, don't covet what your neighbour has. It's actually far from being a burden and telling us off and making us feel like we're so bad. Actually, think about how much of a compliment it is. Because Judaism, or God, is not saying you're all sinners. God is saying this isn't you sinning. That's not your fundamental nature. Your fundamental nature is not to steal, to gossip, to be jealous, to commit idolatry, to have affairs, to all the rest of it. That's not your nature. And so, what a compliment it is to us, where God is saying, actually, can you stop doing that because that's not you, that's not being true to your nature, it's not healthy for you to be behaving like this. And so God's telling us this isn't you, you're just being taken captive by the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination that I place within you to help you, to give you some free choice and allow you to choose to be godly rather than just do it with ease, because then it's really yours. But he's telling us over and over again, don't think that you are inherently bad or inherently a sinner. You're not. So in Judaism, we say the opposite. And so when God tells us what he wants from us and how we should behave, we really should feel complimented, because he's saying this is the real you. Because if we weren't able to achieve that, he wouldn't ask it of us. And if we were fundamentally sinners, then he would have no complaints and he would have no reason to be saying to us, behave in this way, because, well, we're designed as sinners. So we reject the concept that we're all sinners. In Judaism, we say every single one of us is created in God's image, is a divine soul that is godly and pure. And what God is asking us to do is just to remove the dirt, remove the things that are disconnecting us from that, because fundamentally we are good and we do have greatness within all of us. So we shouldn't be despondent, we should be encouraged, because if someone has high expectations of us, it means that we all have greatness within us and goodness within us. I'm Ollie Annisfeld and you're watching JTV.